interesting. Which kind of ties back to what you just asked, Melissa, about what's at stake, right? From my vantage point as a parent, my son is going into his sophomore year and my daughter is starting pre-K. So I have one that's almost done and one that's just beginning. From my vantage point, everything is at stake. And I know that sounds really grandiose and very oversimplifying, but the reality is I've read a couple of different studies that say by 2050, that what is known as the white people in the United States will no longer be a numerical majority by 2050. And if you can do math in your head, which generally I'm not very good at, but that's less than 30 years from now. And if we have legislators that are going the route of we're going to take away the ability to have children understand the real history of this nation, we are setting our children up to not be able to compete on the world stage, number one. Number two, our children are not going to be able to understand empathy. If you don't understand a culture that is different from your own, if you don't understand how a Black child at 16 years old has to be in fear when they go somewhere at night because of the color of their skin, if you don't have an understanding as to why that is, you can't empathize with that person. And I think that in its purest form, being able to empathize with another person is the first step in moving toward positive change and improvement in society. And when things like this happen, and like the state of Texas, the legislation, the legislative things that they're doing in Texas have such a far-reaching impact that I think so many people don't understand. Quite frankly, it terrifies me. And I think everything's at stake.